So the majority of our debt may not have been a direct result of one thing we did, but really multiple habits or 3 habits that made an impact long term. Hey guys, it's Alison with Baby Stepping to Freedom. On my channel, I talk to you all about personal finance, our personal finance, your personal finance, and things that you can do to work your way towards freedom. So with the exception of our student loans, which are still debt, yes, but just kind of in a different category, mindset of acquiring debt than our other debt. So with the exception of the student loans, all of our other debt was really acquired through having these 3 main habits that just kind of got us stuck. We had these habits and they are really what contributed to us getting into $125,000 worth of debt. So I'm going to break down those habits, talk about what they are, and kind of how we've moved past that and bettered ourselves in order to pay off $125,000 worth of debt. So first and foremost, most importantly, one habit that we had that is one of the main reasons that we were in debt is we didn't have a budget. We had no idea where our money was going. We had no idea what we were spending our money on. It was like we got paid and the next day it was gone and we had no idea what happened and we had no idea how to make it through the rest of the month. So not having a budget was like the number one thing that got us into debt, because it really made us feel like either we had more money than we did, so we spent too much. It made us feel like we didn't really know what money we had, so we just kind of used our credit cards and figured, we'll figure it out later. And then before we knew it, it was like, now what do we do? And not having a budget made us not talk about money. So we just kind of existed in our finances. We paid what we needed to pay, and then we just made it work. Not having a budget created so much stress for us. I think it was even stress that we didn't realize that we had. It was like going to the gas station to get gas and not knowing if we had enough money for gas, so we'll just put it on the credit card, or questioning if we had enough money for groceries. All these things that I don't think we realized until after the fact were really weighing on us and causing us to have really poor spending habits because we just had no idea what our financial situation was from month to month. As soon as we created our first budget, we were like, whoa, what have we been doing? We've been spending all this money that we don't have. We have been buying all kinds of things that we don't need. And we haven't really even been talking about our money and where it's going and what we're spending it on. And so I would say in the first month or 2 of just sitting down and writing a real zero-based budget, we had a drastic change in our spending habits because we could really see how much money we had and what we needed to survive in a month. Once we had that budget in place, and really after a few months in that we had a solid budget that we were able to find some wiggle room to start paying off debt, that's when we really were able to move forward and stop a lot of these negative spending habits that we were in. The second habit that really helped us get into debt, I guess I can say, is feeling the pressure of having to keep up with other people, kind of the FOMO of fear of missing out and feeling like we need to do all the things and buy all the stuff and have all the things in order to be the people that we want to be, if that makes sense. It was we bought our house and it was a good time to buy our house. I don't think we regret buying our house, but honestly, when we bought our house, we should not have. We couldn't really afford it, and the house that we ended up with made us spend more money. If we would have just stayed where we were at, then we wouldn't have spent the majority of the money that we spent. So we moved in and we were like, oh, we really need all these things. We added solar panels to our house and we added a patio and we bought furniture and decorations and all these things on credit cards because we felt like we needed to do all the things for this house that we just bought. Because why would someone buy a house and then not fill it with things? So buying the house was really like the catalyst for a lot of our debt, because we only had a small portion of debt before buying this house. And really a lot of that was feeling the pressure of, well, now it's time to buy, and now we need this house that we can grow into, or that, we need all this space, all this stuff, to just kind of this social pressure of being where we expected ourselves to be, or we felt like people expected us to be, or whatever it was. All of that, being worried about what people expected of us, or what other people were doing, or what we felt like we needed to be doing, all of those things were really part of having this mindset that we needed to keep up. And that is a huge contributing factor into the debt that we had. Finally, the third habit that really helped us along into getting into a mountain of debt is not having financial goals, or I should say was not having financial goals. Because before we started our debt-free journey, I don't think we even knew what we wanted to do. Like, sure, we want to not have debt and pay off our house and retire comfortably, but those were just very vague dreams that it's like, okay, well, maybe I pay off my house when I'm 70 years old. Obviously I don't want that. Or I retire when I'm 80. Obviously I don't want that. So we didn't have any firm financial goals, I guess I can say, that were detailed, that specifically said, this is what we want to do by this time, or this is how much we want to save, or anything like that. None of those financial goals existed. So we really had no idea what we were working towards in our finances. Like I said earlier, we were just kind of existing and just I guess we'll just do this month, and this seems right. And because of that, it caused us to make, I guess, more impulsive decisions oh, we should put solar panels on our house because that makes sense. I mean, right now, if we didn't have solar panels on our house and we were where we are financially, I don't think we would make that decision because, well, there's lots of factors in putting solar panels on your house. Maybe that will be a video for later times. But the cost of something like that does not really fit into what we're trying to work towards. Yeah, there might be savings long term, but we are working towards bigger things, and that's just this little factor that's just not really helping that much. So my point is, not having financial goals really impacted the decisions we were making, and it caused us to be a lot more impulsive and just be sure, that seems like a good decision. So the 3 things we did to get past those habits: make a budget, quit caring what other people think, and or just do whatever we want to do that makes sense, and make some financial goals. Sit down, talk about it, figure out what we're working towards and what we want in our future, and lay it out. Those 3 things were life-changing for us. Once we had a budget, said we don't care what everyone thinks, and we knew what we were working towards, it was we couldn't be stopped. We were on a mission, and we're still on a mission to reach our financial goals. And all of those things kind of helped us along the way and helped us learn about how to not get back to where we were before. So I'm really thankful for our debt-free journey for really opening our eyes to a lot of these things, because in the moment, we didn't realize any of this, how much not having a budget was impacting us, or that we were worried about other people and what they thought about us, or that we didn't have financial goals. I didn't realize that we didn't have financial goals until we set financial goals, and I was wow, why didn't we do this before? Oh, that's right, because we weren't thinking. But our debt-free journey really changed our perspective and our habits, and drastically impacted our life in so many ways, which I talk about all the time on here. But these 3 habits, throwing them out the window and creating new, more positive habits, have drastically impacted our financial journey along the way. So let me know down below if you have/had any of these habits that maybe contributed to you getting into debt, or if you have your own kind of habits that you feel like were contributing factors into acquiring your debt. While you're down there, make sure you press that red subscribe button so you get notifications for all my upcoming videos. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.